Hey guys, what's up? I promise I'll get my battery to my remote so I can just in the future. I promised a video about Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm going to talk about, today I'm going to talk about their thoughts about death, or their beliefs about death, the soul, the afterlife, paradise, hell, and how you can successfully argue against those positions if you want to do that. I will keep making movies about, or videos about Jehovah's Witnesses, what they believe about the end times, the problem of evil, the Genesis story, the blood cult, their view of blood sacrifice and so on, Trinity, or rather the lack of the belief in a Trinity. If there is anything you want me to talk about, please, you can leave suggestions in the comments and I'll be happy to look into that. So, what are my qualifications to speak about this? Well, I was born and raised a Jehovah's Witness. My mother and sister still are Jehovah's Witnesses. I have read the Old Testament twice, the entirety of it, and the New Testament 5 times. In different translations as well. I spent about, I think it was 19 months or something like that as a full-time pioneer or whatever. Means that you go and knock on doors 90 hours per month at least. That's the minimum requirement, 90 hours per month. And I did that for 19 months. So all of this is a long time behind me, 20 plus years. Yeah. So anyway, we can get into that later some other time. Okay, what do Jehovah's Witnesses believe about death? Well, when you're dead, you're dead. They do not believe in a soul. They believe that you are a soul. This, of course, is interesting because then there is no hell. They don't have a belief in hell. So if you discuss with the Jehovah's Witness, or if you make a video and you discuss, so how can a loving God torment somebody in hell for eternity? They don't believe this. So this is not an argumentation that will work. There is no soul, so you can't argue, oh, is there any evidence that a human lives on? What they believe is that humans were created on earth. The earth was created for the humans. So when you die, and God will resurrect you. He will recreate the Garden of Eden, paradise here on earth. And that's the whole point. So there is no actual afterlife. It's the promise of resurrection into the paradise that they believe in, except for 144,000 that from the humans that are chosen to rise to heaven and to rule the kingdom of earth, whatever you want to call it. Well, to rule over the earth. 144,000 from the earth will go and do that. So they do believe in heaven, right? But they don't believe this is a place for humans, except in this case, of course. That makes sense, right? So now you have some more information about what they believe in this. So what arguments you can use and can't use. So how do you argue with a Jehovah's Witness? Well, most of the time, try to stay outside of the Bible as much as possible and stick to things that are demonstrably false, or stick to things that are demonstrably false in the Bible, like Adam and Eve story in the flood and so on. But if you stay on the outside of the Bible and you discuss, you want evidence for the existence of God, point to them that the arguments that they do make for God are usually arguments that a Muslim makes or another Christian makes or whatever. How do you know the difference? And then they have to dig into the Bible. But since you're outside of that, say, no, 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 no. You have to provide these points first. The existence of God, that the Bible is divine, and so on. And of course, this really falls down the toilet, because they are well versed in the Bible, most of them, or at least they have tools to look like they're well versed. But when it comes to things outside the Bible, woo, they have basically no knowledge at all, so it's kind of easy to shoot them down. Using logic, old philosophy, new philosophy, whatever you want, is good, because they don't have any sort of critical thinking skills. So 2 or 3 real good questions, just put them straight down the path. One I asked once was why God just had to drown all the people in the flood, because they do believe in the flood, right? So why did he have to drown the people instead of just killing them and taking care of it? And of course they just turned around and left, because they don't think that way. Anyway, now you know a little bit what will be coming up. I will make a video a week about Jehovah's Witnesses at least, and some other interesting atheist, questions relating to atheism. So there you go. Have a great Sunday and enjoy.